I think anytime a wife is in a plural family, is controlling a husband enough to affect other relationships, I think she's a bad person. It's just, I'm tired of it because it's been happening for years.
Mm.
I would help any one of those kids have a conversation with their dad, try to make it safe for them.
But how about it being safe for you?
This is how I've been, and I'm tired of being punished and blamed, and people thinking I'm a bad person because I'm communicating. I'm tired of feeling bad that I have a good relationship with Cody when other people don't. That's on them. They need to figure that out. She was the one that made choices. Janelle's the one that made choices. They handed him to me and said, we don't want to spend time with him, basically. He's had wives reject him affection-wise because they are uncomfortable or they don't like it. I've had one of the kids call me and ask me, can't we just relax the rules? I mean, I do want to be careful, but these aren't my rules. You know, you got to blame somebody, so I'm an easy target. I didn't sign up for monogamy, and I'm tired of being questioned. I'm just tired of it. As much as I love Cody and it's great to have him around, it is stressing me out and worrying about the kids that aren't seeing their dad. It gets frustrating. My mom calls me the Brown family scapegoat.
Maybe Garrison should try and reach out to me and sort of make amends.
I mean, we're gonna have to wait for the kids to all sort of come to their own whatever.
I received some texts and some phone calls from Gabe and Garrison, basically blaming me for what was going on with the family.
There's this unwillingness for some of the family to accept other members of the family or to make amends with other members of the family.
I didn't know he was doing that. I just want to clear the air with the boys. I love those boys.
Like it feels like I'm being forced to choose between my children and this group. I don't feel like my children are welcome.
When have they not felt welcome?
Well, Cody's basically told me they can't come for Christmas unless they do a big apology. And they're like, well, hell no, we're not gonna do that.
The issues between me and Gabriel and Garrison basically have to do with lack of support or adherence. I'm not going to have Garrison and Gabriel around like the alcoholic family acting like
You
nothing
have to
happened.
know, Garrison and Gabriel are not the only children who have problems.
I had one of the kids actually call me and asking me, and I went, this is not me. I didn't make up these rules. And I very specifically pointed out that their dad, Cody, is not somebody to be run by one of his wives.
Hello, friends. It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, September 9th, 2024. There has been a rift in the family. Something new has occurred. A dispute between people that used to be loyal to each other. A fracturing of a friendship and a mother-daughter relationship. That is right. Mykelti Brown has finally confirmed that she is no longer supportive of Robyn and that her behavior or something that she did at Garrison's funeral is the contributing factor for why Mykelti's relationship with Robyn has changed. For months, there has been discussion about what happened between Mykelti and her dad because suddenly on her Patreon, she stopped openly defending him. She also just stopped openly defending Robyn. She started to become a lot more critical. She began making comments about how her dad had not taken any steps to reconcile with any of his children following the passing of Garrison Brown. She made comments about how her father had not remembered to call her on her birthday. She clearly was disconnecting when she stated that she was moving from Utah to get away from the drama and to try to start her life on her own with her husband. They now live in North Carolina. When news broke that Cody and Robyn were moving and had listed their home on the market, Mykelti had no clue they were selling their home. She also had no clue about the status of their relationship. She also stated that the show was how she was going to learn about what was going on in her father and Robyn's relationship. At this point, it was clear to me that she and Robyn were no longer on good terms. But on Saturday, one of my followers sent me a message and said Mykelti responded to a question about her relationship with Robyn because the patron was feeling misled about Mykelti's relationship with Robyn. Up until the time that Garrison passed away, Mykelti Brown had always been very supportive of Robyn and Cody and had defended them despite the obvious behavior that they had and levied on other people. She often would even go as far as trying to defend Cody's behavior in relation to the way he treated Garrison and Gabriel. Now things have changed, and she says it has to do with something that happened at the funeral. This is the question that was posed to her by the patron. So, what happened between you guys and Cody and Robyn? The whole time you led us to believe you were close and that they were a part of your children's lives. Now you're telling us that you don't know they're moving or what they are up to. Sorry, but it just doesn't add up. So, Mykelti responded to this by saying, we try very hard to say what we can while respecting our families and relationships. We don't lie. To give you some insights, it's true. We have always been super supportive of Robyn. Yes, lately it may seem as that has changed. There are things that happened during the recent funeral that are the reason for that. We won't be talking about those events. So you're not totally wrong. Anyhow, thanks for supporting and watching, and I hope this helps a little. So Mykelti said that she had been supportive of Robyn. We have always been super supportive of Robyn, and that has changed. She didn't say anything about her dad. She said Robyn, and something happened with Robyn at the funeral. So I noticed that at the memorial, which was not the funeral, by the way, the memorial for the National Guard, that Mykelti was sitting on one side of this aisle and Cody and Robyn were on the other side, and Mykelti had her arms crossed. She didn't look very happy. Obviously, funerals are not a place for happiness, so it wouldn't surprise me. What surprised me was that she wasn't sitting near her family. People were claiming at the time that family members that had spoken out against Cody and Robyn or had been speaking out on social media were were all seated on one side of the aisle, which in theory is true. However, other people like Peyton who've spoken out about the family have also were sitting with the family and were brought up to the stage. So I really don't think the seating had anything to do with those that were spoken out and those who hadn't, because frankly, all of them are speaking about the family, whether it's on social media or on the show. At the time of the passing, there was a lot of articles that were published by The Sun where someone from the family was leaking to The Sun. And I know people sometimes don't trust The Sun, but I will say with confidence that someone from the family or one of their friends talks to The Sun. It's very obvious. And many celebrities and reality stars speak to The Sun because The Sun pays, frankly. So someone was talking to them, and at the time they had mentioned that there was issues that had occurred at the funeral. So one of the articles said that Cody Brown was standoffish at his son Garrison's memorial as his relationship with his ex Janelle and kids remained strained. They mentioned that Cody was standoffish. He was more resistant in mingling. Robyn encouraged Cody to sit close to Janelle, but they also said it wasn't good for Robyn either, since a lot of the family still has resentment towards her. They said that Garrison and Gabe wanted nothing to do with Robyn. Obviously, that was true. You saw that on the show. And that was because they believe Robyn and Cody's relationship was a huge reason for their split. They also said that the family reunion was very awkward, but everyone came together and they supported each other. Cody manned up and was actually vulnerable with David Woolley. It was interesting family dynamic. Some were angry. There's some happy people. There's some in the middle. It's just like, let's focus on Garrison type of thing. It really wasn't about any ill feelings towards each other. So he was standoffish, but it says at this point, Cody's boys and the other kids are not going to be receptive to him because they just lost a family member. And it's going to take even more work for Cody to fix the damage that he's done. He's not even thinking about chances of reconciliation since he's still processing Garrison's death and grieving his loss. So And if you recall, Garrison's last text message was actually included to his father. So Cody was text messaged and said, I want to hate you for sharing the good times, but I can't. I miss those days. That was one of the articles. And then another one had to do with Cody's depression was causing marital issues with Robyn. So apparently Cody was not okay at all. He's retreated entirely. They said that Cody is really depressed. His mental state is affecting his marriage and it's actually causing problems in his relationship. He sort of put up this wall and is internalizing his feelings. He's focused more on himself and moving on. I don't think they will ever divorce unless he continues what he's doing and pushes her out. He just retreats when he gets upset. He blames her for his problems. So right now he's doing that with her. So something happened at the funeral because they basically said that Cody was standoffish. It wasn't good for Robyn because some people in the family and Robyn don't get along. I would assume that Robyn must have said something, and I would assume that there was some sort of altercation or some sort of confrontation or some sort of argument. I don't expect that we'll ever get the full details of it, but Robyn and her behavior was a very critical component to the divide between Cody and his children because Robyn was so angry that the boys were accusing her of making the COVID rules and accusing her of causing the division and accusing her of, basically manipulating their dad to do stuff, getting in the way of their relationship with their dad. They were angry about the resources that had been given to Robyn and her kids over everyone else. And frankly, if you look at the home, it's obvious that Cody and Robyn were taking resources from everyone else in the family. And those family members have every right to be angry with them because it left other women and children in a financial position where they at times were left without housing, were afraid that Cody and Robyn didn't have the money to pay them back for things that they had given them, like the down payment for the house. They're still fighting over Coyote Pass. It's a mess. There are people that are in my comments that are suspecting that Robyn might have made this about herself, became the victim. There is also the issue of the fact that Cody and Robyn's oldest children weren't at the memorial for Garrison, so they didn't go to the National Guard memorial for Garrison in Nevada, and I don't know if they went to his funeral. Frankly, I really don't. They haven't really made a lot of comments about the funeral because it was a private service, and I again hope it was not filmed. So we'll never really know, I guess, unless it shows up on the show, and I don't know if it will. But there's a lot that could have happened here. And that article back from Garrison's death should tell you that Cody is blaming Robyn for what happened. And I have no doubt that Cody is likely blaming Robyn, taking no responsibility for the fact that he has no relationship with his kids, or blaming Robyn for not doing her job well enough as the sister wife in order to make the family happy, or blaming Robyn for causing the divisions with his kids, or blaming Robyn for everything because Cody has a habit of blaming the women in his life for all the messes that he creates. In some respects, Robyn is a scapegoat because a lot of the family members do blame her for everything when they should be pointing the finger at Cody, right? Her behavior is toxic, but Cody is ultimately the one that chose to give everything up for her and give her all of the money and let her have access to all the money, right? And spend all the money. When it comes to what could have happened, honestly, it's pretty clear to me that going into this funeral, the tensions in the family were very high. The season had just ended. Cody had basically bullied Garrison very boldly on national television. He called his children jerks. He said he never wanted to have conversations with them again. He wanted to not have a relationship with them. Their relationships were strained and they had been very divided. When the police showed up at Garrison's house, Janelle told them that Garrison had an estranged relationship with Cody. Cody didn't even show up at Garrison's house on the day of the event. So My guess is that Robyn's behavior of being Robyn, being entitled, being the victim, making it about herself were probably contributing factors. And then I would also assume that Cody's behavior is amplified by that. I think it's odd that Mykelti would say that her relationship with Cody or being supportive of Cody didn't change because she's honestly said the most about Cody. He didn't call her for her birthday. He didn't remember stuff. He hasn't reconciled with his kids. Part of me wonders if she's blaming Robyn for that. I don't know. We'll get more clarity, I'm sure, on the show, although I don't know how much. At the end of the day, Robyn does have bad behavior. Robyn does make it always about herself. Robyn could have used her religious convictions to say something incredibly disparaging about Garrison. The faith system that they belong to believes that death by unaliving or choosing to end your own life is actually akin to someone taking a life. They look at them in the exact same space and they look at the people that do them as the same. And I don't know if Robyn said something about that. Family members of the family, extended family members, told me that people in the cult believe that to be true. And so when people die this way, they often try to brush it under the rug, not talk about it, move on from it, and act like it didn't happen because those people obviously are viewed as the same as someone that actually commits a crime against someone else. It's very sad. Mormon fundamentalism is not the only faith that believes this. So I don't know if that was something that came up. That's just one option. But the relationship between Mykelti and Robyn has changed. But I also think the relationship between Cody and Robyn has changed. And I don't know if Cody and Robyn's split and their potential financial problems and the possibility of them splitting up could be related to him blaming her for what happened to Garrison or the estrangement or whatever. You know, he blamed Mary for not being a good sister wife. He blamed Christine for not being a good sister wife. He blamed Janelle for not being a sister wife. Maybe he blames Robyn for not being a good sister wife and not being a good mom. What are your thoughts about this? Let me know them in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. Click the bell so you never miss a video. And thank you all so much for watching. Bye, everyone.